She doesn't need to know how much it's worth, my father had said just 3 hours after my husband's casket went into the ground. And at that moment, wearing my black dress and cemetery dirt still on my shoes, I realized how little they had ever seen me as a person and how much as a line item on a balance sheet. I heard everything through the screen door that evening: their plan, the forged papers, the doctor who had never examined me, signing off on my sanity like it was a trivial formality. And yet they had no idea I was listening, and even less what I would do next. But first, a moment of connection. If you relate, like, subscribe, drop your location and time, because my name is Patricia Sinclair. I am 34, and this is what happens when the people who should protect you become the ones you must protect yourself from. The day had started with Daniel's funeral, a thin October drizzle clinging to the church's white clapboard walls, crooked steeple, and scuffed pews. About 40 mourners, Helen Marsh gripping my hand with knuckles white, and 3 empty seats where my parents and sister should have been, their absence explained to myself as busyness, never suspecting their true intent. The next morning, a call from Daniel's estate attorney. Daniel had executed a will naming me sole beneficiary, 3 rental properties in Boston totaling $2.4 million, and a Cape Cod house worth $1.5 million, all free of mortgages. Numbers I struggled to reconcile with the quiet man who drove a 10-year-old Subaru. And yet the warning was clear. If anyone pressured me about these assets, call him first. That evening, I approached my parents' house and overheard the conversation that would redefine my reality. Patricia doesn't need to know the details yet. Close to $4 million. She can't even pay an electric bill. Daniel dying is the best thing that's happened to this family. We file for guardianship. Megan goes on as the appointed guardian. Hide the paperwork. All said casually, as though discussing takeout. And it took all my strength not to confront them, instead recording their words through the door. Helen listened later, not reacting, catching every thread, recognizing before I had vocabulary that my parents' plan, using a doctor to certify me incapable without examination and filing for guardianship, was not family drama, but felony, fraud, forgery. And together we mapped a counterplan, contacting Kessler, Daniel's attorney, and arranging a psychiatric evaluation with Dr. Rebecca Winters, who confirmed, in writing, my cognitive and legal competence, exposing the sham certificate signed by Dr. Feldman that claimed I was incapable, despite never seeing me, leaving examination dates blank. A fraud upon the tribunal, a felony. Meanwhile, Megan attempted to redirect rental income, impersonating a guardian to financial institutions. Identity fraud documented by Campos, the detective specializing in financial abuse against vulnerable adults. And my family, desperate for liquidity, were revealed as creditors themselves. My father behind on a mortgage, mother co-signed, sister with $180,000 in credit card debt, civil suits and eviction settlements, all making me the only lifeboat for their financial survival, which explained the obsession with my inheritance. Every call, text, attempt at manipulation, my mother's rehearsed warmth, Megan's false narratives to friends and family painting me as fragile, all documented, timed, controlled. And yet, Helen's advice was to act normal, not to react, to let them believe the story they wanted while we prepared legal defense, because showing panic would play right into their hands. The letters, the recordings, the financial documents, power of attorney papers my father pressed for, general authority without limits, all captured and relayed to Kessler. Every attempt to force compliance neutralized, culminating in the day before the hearing when Daniel's final letter to me, hidden in a fireproof box, offered not directions or instructions, but affirmation, reminding me I had always been strong, that Daniel believed in me, giving me the emotional fortitude to face the looming confrontation, knowing Kessler would handle the court, Campos the criminal investigation, Helen the strategic oversight, and I, armed with evidence of fraud, forgery, misrepresentation, and the unshakable truth of my capability, would be the one to knock on the Harper residence at 8 a.m., black coat, no makeup, Daniel's letter in one pocket, phone in the other, ready to confront the parents who tried to reduce me to an asset, the sister who tried to erase my authority, the mother whose tears came with a price tag, and the father who expected compliance, all under the clear sky of October 28th, prepared to reclaim my life, my estate, and my dignity. knowing that the real inheritance Daniel left was not the $4 million in property and assets, but the belief in me, the courage to resist manipulation, and the knowledge that standing firm against those who betray you, even when blood runs through their veins, is the truest measure of strength. And as I stepped forward, I felt the weight of grief and rage balanced by the unyielding conviction that I would not be diminished, that I would defend what was rightfully mine, that the manipulations, the false certificates, the attempts to frame me as incapable, all would crumble before the evidence, the law, and my unwavering resolve. And in that moment, the story of betrayal, greed, and attempted control distilled into a single truth. Power can be taken away, wealth can be threatened, family can turn against you, but self-belief, preparation, and the courage to act with clarity and justice, those cannot be stolen. And with that clarity, I was ready to face the 14-day countdown, the court, the confrontation, and the revelation that the only person who truly underestimated me all along was me. Until now, until the knocking, until the moment where control and proof converged, and I could finally reclaim everything Daniel had left me, not only as inheritance, but as a testament to love, trust, and the unyielding belief that I, Patricia Sinclair, am more than anyone in my family ever gave me credit for, and I would prove it to them, to the law, and to myself.